Now to our other developing story this morning. Russia's occupation of Ukraine's Crimean peninsula. Russia is showing no sign of pulling back. It is raising the pressure and reinforcing its military presence. Charlie D'Agata is in Ukraine.
Tensions are rising here in Donetsk. There's already a pro-Russian rally underway. There are counter demonstrations planned later in the day. We have seen these protests turn violent, most notably around the administration building, where some protesters were able to get in and raise the Russian flag, only to see it brought down again as counter-protesters raised the Ukrainian flag. Over in Crimea, tensions are rising high there. Russian forces tried to take over another base. They were pushed back, our colleagues tell them. The Ukrainians are still in charge of that base, but of course they are surrounded. There are now, according to Ukrainian officials, 30,000 Russian troops in Crimea. In Moscow, the Russian government welcomed a delegation from Crimea with a promise that if they choose so in an upcoming referendum, that Russia would annex Crimea. Here, Ukrainian forces are preparing for combat, and the concern is that Russia may intend to invade further into eastern Ukraine. And it's one of the concerns here as these protests get underway. The Russian military has the go-ahead from the Russian parliament to use force if necessary to protect ethnic Russians. And if these protests turn violent and there's any harm done to the ethnic Russian population here, the fear from the Ukrainian government is it could give the Russians the excuse they need, the provocation, to move forces into eastern Ukraine. For CBS This Morning, Saturday, I'm Charlie D'Agata in Donetsk, Ukraine.